Okay, last minute video here. I just got on Facebook Marketplace. I've been looking for weeks to try and find the next two-stroke build. Randomly came across this 2002 CR250, which I'm about to go check out right now. But it's the only CR250 within like 6 hours from me. Let's go check this thing out and see if it's gonna be the next project two-stroke build for this winter.
So you want to ride it? No joke, man. She threw me to the ground a bunch of times, and I was like, I'm too old for this. She's just a wild horse, you know. That's why I got the KTM.
Yeah.
So KTM goes easier with me.
Cool.
When I went there, I tried a couple times. And I was like, and it was a young kid too.
Yeah.
And he was not opening all the way.
Yeah.
And he was a little nervous to let it ride, so I had the
with
cash.
With the 250s, they don't go until the end.
Yeah.
You really gotta wind them up.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
It's a love and hate relationship because in the woods, the way
flywheel.
she's very nice in the woods. My next step was suspension.
Yeah. Oh, there she is. All right, here she is. We'll get her unloaded, get her in the garage, and give you guys a closer look on what this thing is and kind of my plans with it and why I decided to go with another. It's time to give this thing a little run over. I just took it off the stand this morning, and the stand is coated in oil. And I looked down on the cases and it's dripping oil off the case. I don't know where that's coming from. Typical bike build. The thing's shot and needs a lot of work. Pretty much like every other bike build that I've done. Let me get it on the stand, I'll get it fired up. I'm gonna rip it around the lawn, get a baseline on how it feels, and go over what I'm gonna have to do this thing. All right, I was gonna take it somewhere to ride it, but I don't even trust this thing to really even ride it besides around the lawn because brakes barely work. Thing is super janky, everything's barely on, I feel like. Brake is about to come off, this is all loose, and it's not worth it for me to take it anywhere, so let's see if we can get this thing started. All right, once again, I want to thank Monagan & Monagan for sponsoring this video and making this CR250 build possible. So a huge misconception when you're trying to find a lawyer is that it's super expensive, which is definitely not always the case. So when you're injured, you deserve compensation, and the size of your law firm matters. Monagan & Monagan is America's largest injury law firm with over 800 lawyers in over 100 offices nationwide. Like I said in my last video, with Monagan & Monagan, it's actually completely free unless they win your case. And that's why over 3 million people trust Monagan & Monagan. And getting started is easy. You can check them out by using my link in the comments, on the screen right here, or in the video description. So once again, thank you to Monagan & Monagan for sponsoring this video, and like I said, making the CR250 build possible. Jump back into this thing and giving you guys a little run over on what I just bought. Let's see how long this thing takes to get started. It's not gonna be easy. This thing's killing my foot. Gotta love two strokes. Let's try this again. Come on. Really? It's definitely got a ton of compression, that's for sure. Yeah, she's definitely a gem. And it doesn't help that it's like 35 degrees out right now. Oh, almost fell off the thing. Oh, I'm over it.
Clutch is definitely shot. Different things rattling. I don't even know where it's coming from. Alright, time to try out this death trap. This thing is, I mean, the front brakes work. The back brakes I don't really care about as long as I can stop. The motor sounds good though. I'm not trying to stall this thing and have to kick it over again. Not gonna lie. Definitely used half a can of SC1 on the seat. Slide it around. The clutch feels funky when I slip it a little bit. I could feel something like grinding on the inside. I remember him saying he had a different flywheel in here. I could definitely tell. Alright, yeah, both the brakes work. Honestly, the bike doesn't run bad at all. It actually runs pretty good. So it's actually a good starting point motor-wise. Not trying to loop this thing, but might happen. Honestly, not a terrible starting point. I thought it was going to be a lot worse than what it is, to be honest with you, as far as how it runs. Now I kind of can go over what I'm going to do to it, what I got to change, kind of your feedback on what you think I should do. I guess we'll go from there. I'll get it power washed up. Alright, we've got this thing in the garage all cleaned up now. Had like a gallon of Simple Green I dumped on. It wasn't too dirty to start with compared to some of the other builds that I've had that's been just clumped with mud and dirt on the cases. Also, before I talk more on this thing, if you want to stay up to date on the build, you can follow the Instagram page for just the 2-stroke builds, which is at Project 2 Strokes. Pretty much post the stuff as I'm doing it. You're gonna see the stuff go down way sooner than when I actually post the YouTube video. Motor actually is pretty clean. I'm not gonna have too hard of a time to vapor hone it to get it looking new again. Shifter's actually super loose. Thing's barely on there, it looks like. Not a terrible starting point. And everything's there. Has some aftermarket radiators. Wish they were OEM. It is what it is. As far as everything else goes, it's fairly got everything OEM. I wish I had the OEM gas cap. Please don't put these on your bikes. So I think it's ugly personally. So I'm gonna have to find an OEM gas cap. It's obviously got the full kit, the whole upgraded plastics kit to the modern whatever conversion kit, which I'm not really a fan of. It's kind of off. I mean, look at the seat, it has a huge gap in it, probably because of this. It's off on the shock. Doesn't look right, I don't think. So that thing's not going back on there. I think I'm going more 50-50 what I want to do. Let me know what you think. I'm thinking similar to the KX250 build, which is still in pieces. I'm thinking new front end, OEM back. I have to find, it's probably gonna be super hard to find, an OEM seat cover. I'm sure it's gonna be stupid expensive. Hopefully I can find that. And we're fully gonna do this thing up. It's gonna look brand new, better than new. And I'm pumped. Time to tear this thing down. Probably in the next video you'll see. We'll get it down to the frame, start vapor honing some stuff, get a parts list together on what I need. If you have any recommendations on these 2002 CR250s, let me know what I should put on it. If you guys have experience with them, it's gonna be an OEM trick build, have some fancy stuff on there you guys will see. It come together pretty sweet. Can already envision it now. Next video, expect a tear down. I'm probably gonna vapor hone some stuff. We'll get this thing fired back up. I got some parts for this that are gonna make my life a lot easier. Hopefully cut down on a lot of the blast time, because this thing usually takes forever to clean up the parts because my compressor really isn't big enough. It's always constantly running because this thing needs a lot of juice in order to run with the constant pressure to actually blast the parts. Like I said, if you're new and you want to see the CR250 build, make sure you subscribe. Throw a like on the video if you're pumped for another 2-stroke build, a 250 2-stroke build that is. So I'll catch you guys in a video next week tearing this thing down.